Can you really become an HTML email developer, and can you earn $100,000 or more with these skills? We're going to talk about that right now. All right, guys. So you already know it's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Your boy is back and out and did it again one more time. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment below. Okay, so somebody sent me an email. Hey, Joe, I seen a video by some girl talking about, can you really make $100,000 with HTML emails, right? And you know, to my surprise, it was a video by your homegirl Jenna Creates. Jenna is one of my subscribers, also to somebody that has supported me from the beginning and has been a member of the community. Okay, shout out to her. Okay, she has a great channel. Go subscribe to her. Definitely should get more subscribers. Got a pretty cool channel and is sharing her story and her opinion on things. Okay, so shout out to her. Now, this is what I think, right? And I'm gonna give you 100% the honest truth of what it is. Okay, so HTML emails, right? It's a skill that almost any of you guys can do. Okay, especially guys that have been working with JavaScript, and you know, you already could design anything that we throw at you, right? And give you, hey, you take this design, make it into HTML, CSS. If you do all of that, hey man, HTML emails is really like, it's beneath you, right? Let's be honest. It's actually so easy that you'll be like, I'm bored, right? But there's a bag, okay? Now, to Jenna was saying, right? It can be misleading for some people. That's what her words were, right? Now, I don't know if it's misleading. What I'm giving you when I say, hey, you can make $100,000, I always say you got to use your brain, okay? You got to use your brain. As a human being, you have to use your brain, okay? So when I say you can get $100,000, I don't know if you guys remember when I say you can make $135,000 as a HTML email developer. And I gave you an example of if you have a client and then you have multiple clients, you can make up to $135,000. Now, when you get hired as an HTML email developer for a company, there's gonna be companies that's gonna look at your work and gonna tell you this is what you are worth. Okay, there's gonna be companies that's gonna tell you, hey man, you know what? We got a small budget and this is how much we can give you. Okay, you're also gonna find companies that is gonna try to game the system. Just like any business, if they can pay you the least amount, they're gonna pay you the least amount. Okay, now how do you get past this? Okay, well, it's very simple. It's by having real projects that shows you are top tier developer, right? You're an HTML email developer, but not just some random guy that's showing up on Fiverr, right? Not some random guy that's showing up on Craigslist. Okay, and I'm gonna give you examples, right? So let's say somebody goes in to apply to a position, all right, and you show up with an email like this, okay? Crazy letters, crazy fonts, you know, thing looks like a mess. The button looks like a mess. It looks like a shitty, a shitty freaking footer, right? The company's gonna look at you, hey, he could play around with HTML. Let's give him, you know, a starting salary. They could even throw you something crazy. Like, let me see if I could pull it up right now. Like, I just did a video today about HTML emails. And let me see, where is it? HTML email developer. Okay, let me pick this up. So I want to show it to you guys, so you guys can see it. Where is it? The video I just did. I guess we're gonna go to CodingPhase. But there was this developer who left a comment on one of my videos. Okay, this is the video. All right, who left a comment and said, hey man, they trying to throw me like $30,000 for an HTML position. Okay, now you have to understand this. Okay, Sylvia C says, I just went for an interview yesterday for an HTML programmer and they're trying to pay less than $30,000 per year. I respectfully declined. Yeah, that's fine. You could definitely decline for that because that is very low. But I also put in her comment, like, I'm interested in knowing, hey Sylvia, yeah, there's going to be small companies that will throw some bullshit number at you if it's your first job. I want to highlight that, right? If it's your first job, nobody has ever hired you, right? Companies don't even know if they want to hire you because you're like, we don't know what type of skills this person has. Okay. And one of the reasons why I answered to her, I say, just apply to bigger companies and also send me your portfolio. I would like to see what projects you showed them, right? Sometimes companies look at what you have done and judge your skills from there. Okay. If your skills or your projects that you show, right, don't look good or don't look professional, don't look like you actually work with brands and top companies, bro, they're gonna throw you some bullshit. Okay. That's why on my website, what I try to do is give you the things that actually look good, and it's gonna make you look like, hey man, this guy has been doing this for a while. Because if you show up to an interview with HTML emails like this, like, it looks like trash. I'm being honest. I'm just being 100% honest. This is the type of shit that you're going to find on Craigslist. This is the type of shit that you're going to find on Fiverr. This is the type of shit that you're going to find on any of those little bullshit websites that is on Elance or Upwork, whatever, right? This is the type of HTML emails that people are trying to put together. Nobody does emails like this no more, okay? Big brands don't do emails like this, okay? So when a company sees your projects and they look like this, what they're going to do, they're going to say, this guy, he could probably play around with HTML emails, but he's not really ready for prime time. So let's give him an introductory, payment, bullshit salary just to get him in here to work, right? And even though you can do really good emails, they're going to hit you with the bullshit, right? Because that's how you presented yourself. Okay, and I'm just being honest, not saying that that's what happened to Sylvia, not saying that's what happened to Jenna, right? I'm just saying in general, right? So another thing too, right? If you're in a position where you're at home and you are learning how to code and you're still getting your foot in the door, right? And your first job is not this amazing job, bro, homegirl, take it. You're broke at home. If you're not broke, like let's say, I don't know Sylvia's situation right now at home, right? Or where she at, right? If she has another job and that other job is paying her $50,000, $100,000, hey man, you can go down to 30, right? But if you don't have a job and you're denying jobs because you're saying, I'm gonna wait for the dream job, it's not going to come to you. I'm being honest. Okay. It's not going to come to you because what happens is this industry is all about experience and what type of projects you have done previously. Okay. So the more experience that you have, the more money that you're going to make. Okay. What type of jobs do I consider that are good to apply to? Anything that is above $50,000. But that's if you're working. If you're working already, right, and you don't have no need to take a job right now, hey man, wait for that $50,000 job. It's gonna come your way pretty soon. Okay. Now, if you're not working and you're deciding I'm just gonna stay at home, not earn any money, then you have to be an idiot. If you don't have no income coming in, you're an idiot, right? I knew that from the beginning. When I first got hired, I didn't get hired as a web developer, front-end developer, engineer. I didn't get none of that. My first job was for $13 an hour. Okay, $13 an hour just to get that stamp that says I worked with HTML, CSS, right? Which puts me in a world of web development. But I needed that stamp. Okay. And sometimes I see a lot of people that deny jobs because they think like, man, I could get $100,000, $200,000 and I'm waiting for that dream job. It's not going to come to you. It's not, because you need the experience. Okay. It's a way of progression. Okay. If you live in a big city, and I'm not talking about outside of the big city, if you live in a big city, you can get $50,000 plus. Okay. If you live outside of the cities, bro, they're going to throw whatever they can at you, especially if you have projects like this, right? If you have projects like this is what they're going to throw at you. They're going to throw you the cheap stuff. They're going to be like, man, we could get this guy to come in here for $30, right? Or $30,000, $35,000. They're going to throw you the bullshit, right? But what you should do is you should apply either to remote jobs or apply to bigger companies, okay? A lot of you guys think like, man, I can't apply to these companies. I don't have experience. Okay, if you don't have the experience, Build your experience by doing projects for freelance clients, or building projects for local businesses. But don't make HTML emails looking like this, right? You're not gonna get paid a lot of money for bullshit like this, right? You're gonna get paid a lot of money when you start doing emails like this that looks good, have nice header, have good content, at the same time everything looks fine, works in mobile, works in every freaking client that anybody can test this out. Like, those are the emails that is gonna get you paid a lot of money. And that's what I do on my website. Once again, bring it back to CodingPhase.com, right? Bring it back to CodingPhase.com. $20, you learn all of these things. I'm teaching you how to learn how to code, and at the same time, while learning how to code, I'm giving you projects that look good, that's gonna make sure you're gonna get the most out of your first job, right? Or that salary that they tell you, hey, what's the salary range that we can give this guy? Instead of they looking at the lower range, they're gonna look at the higher range, okay? And that's just me being honest with you guys. Once again, this career is all about progression. You go from here and you keep climbing up, okay? Think of it like this. It's like a lawyer, right? Somebody could tell somebody, say, hey man, you could become a lawyer. You could get up to $1 million, right? That guy that's gonna become a lawyer, he has to be an idiot if he thinks that his first job is gonna be $1 million. Unless he's a papi and mommy kid where the parents own the law firm and they just swindle him right in there, right? That's the only way he's gonna get $1 million on his first job. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. You have to be a thinker. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, you have to use your brain. This is why it goes down to you gotta use your brain. Like, think logically, okay? If I give you how much you can earn in a career, is because this is the career path that I'm giving you, okay? If you want to stay at Walmart, your career path is maybe being a stock specialist, right? Where you might get $14. You start at $9 on Walmart, you might end up with $14 at the end of the, your career with 5 years, 10 years in, right? That's what I'm telling you. I'm like, yo, man, this is the how much you could get, right? Now, this is the career path that I'm setting you up for, okay? A lot of you guys are working jobs that are bullshit jobs, okay? Let's be honest. You know damn right it's a bullshit job. There is no pathway to growth, okay? Becoming an HTML email developer is a great way to get paid while you still becoming a really good front-end engineer or back-end developer, right? And get a job under your freaking belt, you know what I mean? And say, hey man, this is on my resume. I got the stamp. Here's the companies that I work for. This is what I've done. You're able to explain what's going on in your environment, okay, and what you did at your last job, right? It's great for that, right? Now, also, you can stay there and become just an HTML email developer. And if you decide to choose that career path, right? Never stay at a company more than 6 months if you're not making the amount that you really want to be making. If you stay there more than 6 months, that's your fault. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the honest truth. When I work for all these other bullshit companies, you know what I did? When I come in, it's progression. I started with $13 an hour, right? For $13 an hour, we started making 45. Then from 45, make 65. From 65, make 70. From 70, make 80. And from 80, make 90. From 90 to make 100. To 120 offers. Like, that's the progression. I'm not telling you, hey man, your first job is going to be $100,000. Some people get it and some people don't get it, right? It's just like any, when boot camps come in and tell you, hey man, we get everybody into jobs in $100,000. Bro, that's the fucking headline. That's the clickbait. Let's be honest. That's the headline. That's the clickbait. As a human being, you have to use this thing and know, hey man, you know what? That might be 1%, 2% of the class. The reality is that, most people is going to get this range, and this is how much they can make in the long term. So they'll grow in their career and get to that $100,000 plus. If you're really smart, what you would do is you say, hey, I'm gonna get a client where I could work for them remotely, make about $60,000, right? I'm just giving you the game plan because I feel like a lot of people don't know how to use their brain. So I gotta break it down for you and show you how to get money out here. Because if you're not making at least $70,000 as an HTML email developer, that's your fault. I'm sorry, there's only so much I can do for you. So this is how it is. This is the game plan. You find a company, right? You work for them, okay? Once you work for them and you have enough projects that are good enough, you start getting your own clients online, remote jobs, right? There's a lot of small businesses that need HTML email developers to handle their whole campaigns, okay? They'll give you the content, etc., right? So you can come here and say, you know what? I'm going to charge this company 60. I'm going to charge this other company 30. And then you start continue getting more clients like that. By the end of the year, you probably get more than $150,000, right? If you have multiple clients. Now, this is the biggest problem with people that I find online, right? Is that a lot of people think that just because they can't make that much, that means that it's not happening. Guys, this guys is making way more than that. There's guys that come here. I just told you a story the other day. There's a guy hustling out here that goes to a job interview, tells him, hey man, I'm actually doing a job interview, but you know what? I got a team in India, right? Where they come in and send the freaking projects to those guys in India for like $14 an hour or whatever, even less than that, probably $6 an hour, paying those guys to do the work, while the guys here in the United States charging like $40, $50 an hour. That's a hustler. That's a dude that knows how to move. If you don't know how to move, you're always going to be a worker. That's the honest truth. That's just how it is. If you decide to just say, hey, man, this is how much I got and I'm going to stay here, that's how much you're going to get, right? You got to see progression, right? If you work at the bullshit company that's your local company in your area and they're only paying you $35,000, work there for a good 6 months, 3 to 6 months, right? Build your career in there, right? Build your skills, build everything that you need. Start applying to bigger companies. See what's going on in New York City. See what's going on in San Francisco. See what's going on in Miami. Miami's huge with HTML emails developers. I didn't even know about this. I just started doing research on this. Somebody sent me an email like, hey man, Miami's popping for HTML emails. So, because they do a lot of, you know, for travel, for commercial properties. So they do a lot of emails over there. So, you know, it's all about the research, man. If you stay in your area and you stay in your little bubble and your comfort zone, you can't expect much. I'm being honest. You can't expect much. You got to go out of your comfort zone, right? There's guys that's going to come in and be like, hey, man, you know, I sell on eBay about $1,000 worth of like, you know, freaking little items, right? But there's guys on eBay selling about $50,000, $80,000 a month, right? So just because you're at home on eBay, I'm just bringing that example, right? Because I saw the same thing, a guy that has a similar channel to mine's that was talking about how much money you can make on eBay and how much money he makes, right? He was explaining, I'm bringing this so you guys can understand this. This actually happens in every industry, in every single channel, every single thing, right? There's people that be like, I can only make $1,000 on eBay. That's what you make. There's guys out here in the inner circle, the guys that's in here, and that's why I'm sharing it to you, that's making $50,000, $80,000 on eBay on sales. Okay? So just because you're not seeing that, that doesn't mean that that's not what's happening. Unfortunately, there's a world outside of your bubble. And that's the truth. That's how you just got to be honest with people sometimes. You know, you got to look up, you know, do your research and know how to be a hustler. I'm just showing you a skill to get you up there, and then from there it's up to you. It's like right now, if you decide to go into a bullshit small business that only has like 2 clients, right, and they only do it for the mom and pop shops, that's your business, right? That's your fault that you stayed there and you decided, hey, I'm only gonna work for $30,000, and you stay there for 2 years, 3 years. That's your fault, because a guy like me goes in there, gets the skills that he needs, get the stamp that he needs, goes to bigger companies and be like, here, man, here, Gucci, hire me. Here, Vogue.com, hire me. Complex.com, hire me. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how you do it. That's how you get your money. Get out of that small business world, right? That's where you start off, but that's not where you're supposed to end at. This career is about progression, guys. If I was to be just like one of those people that just say, hey, man, this how much you get. You know what I mean? Like, this how much you get. You can only get $13. You will find me here on YouTube talking about, hey, man, you know, there's no way front-end developers make, you know, $100,000. I only make $13 in my job. If I was to stay like that in that world, bro, I would still be making $13. You know what I did? Progression. You got to keep on moving. So when I come here and I tell you about a skill, I'm teaching you something. I'm teaching you things that I know. It's not things that I'm making up. It's not things that I'm making, you know, headlines to sell. Like, nah. Unfortunately, this is all shit that you can look up. Right? If everything that I was to say that was bullshit, you could literally do a simple Google search and you would be like, yo, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, this is bullshit. Nobody makes this. You get what I'm saying? Like, but the jobs is there. You know what I mean? So do your research. All right. So going back to what I was saying, sorry, I get so passionate with this, right? Because I find that this happens in every industry, right? It happens here on my channel, web development. It happens on, you know, on a real estate channel. It happens on a eBay channel. It happens on an Amazon channel. Anything that has to do with money, right? You always got to remember this. You got to use your brain, and you got to understand, if you're not a hustler, you're not going to get anywhere, period. Right? If you're comfortable, you're one of the people that get comfortable at a job, bringing it back to this type of content, right? If you're the type of person that is comfortable and gets comfortable in a job, that's where you're going to stay at, right? Person like me, I'm a hustler, right? Soon as I got hired for $13, bro, I swear to God, I was applying the same day. And you know why I went into that job? Because I needed income to come in. I can't stay at home without having money coming in. You get what I'm saying? If you getting an offer, even if it's for $30,000, even if it's $40,000, and you have zero experience, you've never been hired as a HTML email developer or developer, period, and you have zero income coming in and you don't take the job, I'm sorry, but you are an idiot, because no money's coming in. It's actually hurting you. You're wasting time and you're wasting money. You know what I'm saying? When you could be getting paid, even if you got hired. Like, this is what I tell people. If I was to start today, right now, this very moment, just to end this video, if I started this very moment right now, and somebody tells me, hey, man, you are a self-taught developer. You know what? We don't know if you got the skills, but we're going to hire you for, you know, $15, $20, right? I'll say, you know what? I'll take it, right? Because I need the stamp. Now, you know what I would do? That same day that I get hired, the first day that I go into work, I'm applying to other places. Now, when somebody else comes in and sends me a better offer, I'll go to the CEO or to the owner of the small business that's paying me $13, $15 an hour and tell them, hey, man, you know what? This other company is paying me $25. Do you guys want to match it? They say no? Okay, cool. Toodles. And that's it. I'm out of there. Peace.